I'm very happy to have been even invited here to be amongst so much history, spanning back to something I saw there from the 1800s, the first sci-fi thing, you know, from the Proms 2022 BBC Proms, and I know this is to do with when I was in the choir and I was a young boy really trying to figure out what was going on, and I performed in I was in Southwark Cathedral Choir, and it's the first time I ever even knew this place existed, and they said that we had to come and sing here. Got a picture of 3310 in there. One thing about me in the choir, I'd always have my phone on me, and I'd forget to put it on silent, and it would ring off, and I'd always get in so much trouble. So that's just quite funny to see that. I just want to see where it says Southwark Cathedral. I don't want to take too long to find it. It'll be boring television otherwise. Chorus list. Boys and girls choristers of Southwark Cathedral. Boys. Ashley Allingham, who is my mate from South East, he was like one of the only other black people in here. He's a mixed race boy, Ashley, I remember him. Straight after, chronologically, Hak Baker. Wow. The earliest mention of musical activity at Southwark is in 1365, when Nicholas Leclerc was appointed to teach boys to sing and read. Amazing. Project 2000, Southwark Cathedral's Girls' Choir was formed. I remember that when that first happened. My mate Chev Sebastian, one of my other mates, one of my other only friends in there, because he was a bit of a tearaway as well. And then I remember his sister joined the choir. I quite fancied her. Sorry, Seb, if you ever see this. No one ever knew. But I remember this from this an unparalleled music education. I never even knew what I was doing in there. I used to blag it, but kind of did. South London, by London Bridge. Peter Wright, I remember Peter Wright. He was the choir master, and he was a nice man. He actually was. Can't say a bad word about him. Interesting. Sebastian Morley, was he there? He wasn't. I think he got kicked out. That's this is the only physical thing that I've seen or held from Southwark. I used to have a CD that I used to listen to back in the day. It used to make me feel kind of different ways, but that's gone now. I don't know where I can find out for the life of me. So yeah, that was a blast in the past. That 22 years ago. Wow, it was my crew. So like, I didn't really feel small because we had like boys, then we had the girls, and then we had the alto section, bass section, tenor section, and probably imagine there was some kind of live music section as well, which would have been huge as well. That I remember there was always big massive, not quartets because they was bigger. So I always felt part of something. I didn't really feel fearful. Never really feared performance. I've always just, swallowed my nerve and got into performance. So yeah, those were like the feel at such big stages as well, at such a young boy, just getting that done, early ticks in the box. That definitely helped me today as well, just knowing how to act when it's game time. Yeah, man, big up Southwark Cathedral. It's definitely a monumental part of my life. It was very necessary. So this is the decade of the MOBO Awards, very important, especially for black artists, And it was here from the dive in, or artists who delve in underground culture. Because the first page that I'm opening up into is Mr. Mark Skinner. Me personally, I was a massive fan of Mark Skinner when I was a kid, especially. I feel like I was always looking for more of an emotional rant somewhere. I didn't even know I was an emotional fella. I just didn't really get certain things. But the tones and lyrics where he drew from real life, for me, especially like We Become Heroes and Lights Are Blinding the Eyes, just talking about getting mashed up in a dance, but there's more with it, you know. There's reasons why and how, and sometimes you're doing those things and you're not necessarily happy that you're doing it as like, it's the only way I can get through this, you know. So Mike was definitely influential in my life in figuring out how to relay myself, so it's good to see him in here from early with his recognition, you know. He deserves it. Omar, Jesus, great man. Kano, what's not to say about this gentleman? When I was a kid, I used to think that he was one of my favourite MCs because he would use words in a different way nobody else used to, and relate his stories with an air of huge intellect, you know. I don't think anyone even knew how to do that. In 2004, what was this? I don't know when this was. Around those times, you know, when grime was super affluent. Kano was the Thinkers MC, you know. Great man. See what he's gone on to do today as well. Such relevance, you know. Lamar, no one was really breaking it down like he was back in the day. Like R&B-esque. He was a top man for me. And I just used to fancy Khalees, to be fair. And Jill Scott. You know, people like Jill, I dare not compare myself to him, it's how great he is, but you know when a man is plagued by pain, you know, you can't even believe what's going on. Being like, having empathetic qualities is a gift and a curse. You feel so much that you have to write, and you feel so much that you have to destroy too, because you're trying to find worth in things is difficult. Such troubadours generally seem to like find themselves in some kind of tragedy because they can't master, even handle themselves, you know. I sympathise with that feeling. What a great man. Lovely. Oh, Damian Marley at the back, perfect. Amazing man, Welcome to Jamrocks came out. Great. Amazing lyricist, worthy of the Marley name. The lads tried to surprise me, but I already knew this. This is the first Carnival brochure, the first Carnival, Sunday, 1st of July, 15 days after my birthday. Obviously not at that time. The first Carnival, first Caribbean Carnival ever was actually in Royal Albert Hall. I found this out about 2-3 years ago. I was kind of flabbergasted. I'm a child of Carnival, even if it wasn't even Notting Hill Carnival. I was at Luton Carnival with my mum and dad, you know. I have memories of seeing my dad at Luton Carnival selling the Irish moss from back in the day, and always going to Carnival with my mum all the time, you know. They've always like made sure that I knew the wonders of where I'm from, you know, so I've always embellished that. And I think it's a good thing that, you know, even at that time, 10 years, 11 years after the Second World War ending, that the Windrush generation was attempted to be celebrated. It's a big thing, you know, to bring it to such a place, you know, England's Royal Albert Hall, you know. So that's a pat on the back, really, that was chose to be celebrated here in this building, you know, which got such history, such English history as well, but as I'm finding out now, international history. Carnival was a great celebration, you know, of where England, the United Kingdom, you know, draws its relevance from, you know, what it did, you know, and at the time did the right thing and tried to celebrate. Here, you know, I can see a lot of orchestral things here, which was probably the sound at those time, which is quite cool. It's wonderful. It's a great place to end. A great place to end my Where's Wally in the old bottom of Royal Albert Hall. I feel like I'm very happy to have been even invited here to be amongst so much history, spanning back to something I saw there from the 1800s, the first sci-fi thing, you know. Sometimes I can't believe where my music journey takes me, and to be here, you know, amongst all such old relics of things and remembered, and see this, the Carnival, something that I love, enjoy and cherish. And now it's completely, you know, intertwined with British culture, Carnival completely. To see where it started here, and even something I didn't even know that was in it with my works with Southwark Cathedral when I was an 11-year-old child. To start there and end here with my history and my people's history in full circle, full circumference. It's a great way to end my evening. I've had a great day. Cheers for having me.